The waking up portion of the dream happens in two major stages. The first stage is through what you would call gradual enlightenment, when you elevate your consciousness. Remember that your collective experience is a dream, but it is also fractal in the following way. Your collective experience is like a dream within a dream within a dream. It is the story that you tell yourself in each of the different situations that you are involved in that create these types of dream worlds. Dream worlds are created through narrative. So when you are young, when you are a child, you're not really utilizing what you would consider to be humanistic narratives to create your experience. You are creating your experience through what you would consider to be spiritual narratives. So when you are young, your storytelling abilities are not dependent on the physical mind. Rather, they come from the soul. As your brain develops and as you become accustomed to working with human language, the types of stories that you tell become incredibly complex over time. They become more sophisticated, more detail-oriented, more conceptual in nature. And as a result, conceptual dream worlds are then created that, in a certain way, act as filters that overlay your direct experience with the physical reality. When we talk about gradual enlightenment, what ends up happening is you begin to recognize that the dream worlds that you have created while in the body, while alive, physically speaking, are based upon narratives. And through those enlightenments, those narratives begin to dissolve. And you begin to recognize that you are free to create whatever it is that you prefer in those experiences. And that allows for you to liberate yourself from the various dream worlds that you create in the physical reality. Now, once you reach the end of your physical life and you transition into spirit, that is another type of awakening process. That's the second type of waking up that we were mentioning. That type of awakening, in many ways, instigates and ignites what you call the life review, where all of the other awakenings and all of the other dream worlds that you have created blend together, and you're able to see those worlds in crystal clear clarity. You're able to see all of the different opportunities that you have had. You're able to see all of the different choices that you had made. You're able to see all the different consequences connected to your actions, and you're able to see all of this from a place of non-judgment. And once you finish that experience of the life review, it is as if your soul, that original dreamer of this physical reality dream, then goes through another level of awakening. And that allows for it to then be in a position where it can choose to dive into other physical reality incarnations, which act as other dream worlds. It can also choose to ascend even higher into the level of the oversoul, which is, in a certain way, its own type of dream world. Yet it is less dense in nature. It is more liberated in nature. We remind you, though, that even the oversoul is a type of dreamer, and it too goes through its own awakening processes. So what you will find is awakening from the dream occurs on every single level of reality. The only level this does not occur upon is the level of the one, for the one is having no experience whatsoever. It's almost like a type of void space. And it is that level of consciousness that all souls and oversouls eventually ascend to. And that process of ascending into the one is what then births a totally new collective dream that expresses as a, you could say, brand new multiversal expression. So whenever you're experiencing an incarnation, be it a physical incarnation or a spiritual incarnation, you're interacting with a type of dream world. The only level where the dream world does not exist is the level of the one, because in a certain sense, the one is paralleling what you would call non-existence itself. And once you merge with the one, a type of paradoxical state is created because that represents the blending of wakefulness and dream. And that then represents the male and female polarities blending together, which then birth or give rise to a totally new expression, a totally new experience. So what we would advise is, instead of attempting to awaken from the dream, which can create a type of spiritual striving, what we would advise is create lucidity in your dream. So recognize right now that you are in a type of dream. And just through recognizing that you are dreaming right now, you can become more empowered to actually create shifts within how you are creating your waking dream of physical reality. And as you become more aware of how you can influence the physical reality dream, you will gradually create those processes of enlightenments or awakenings. And that can allow for you to dissolve some of those dream worlds that you're in, so you can then create what you would consider to be more preferential experiences. So we would advise, don't necessarily strive for awakening, rather let yourself be in a living lucid dream, and natural awakenings, natural enlightenments will begin to happen gradually as you ascend up the ladder of consciousness.